Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello, guys. Welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: APC Chieftain blows hot on INEC's chairman historic mistake in Imo State election, advises him to resign. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube.
All right, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Mr. Peter Esele, said that the Independent National Electoral Commission should take all the blames for the verdict of the Supreme Court on the Imo State election. Esele, a former president of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, made the declaration while in Benin. He argued that Nigerians should look beyond the controversy of the judgment and address the foundation of the judgment. The activist noted that the judgment underscored the inefficiency, and inaptitude of INEC. According to him, the result of the governorship election held on March 9, 2019 in Imo State should not have been announced in the first place because so many irregularities were reported during the elections. Esele said that in the view of the reported irregularities, one would have expected INEC to have cancelled the election and have a proper election conducted. INEC did not do its job properly, so that is why Supreme Court judges are intervening. APC stalwart stressed that for the Supreme Court to have a unanimous decision over a matter or election, it means the election was badly conducted. So what happened in Imo State is enough for the INEC chairman to resign if Nigeria is a sane clam. If Nigeria is in a sane clam where things are done properly, whoever is aggrieved has to accept it because the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, Esele said.
All right, thank you very much. Let's look at some of the reactions of Nigerians about the case of Imo State election. Truly, it's a historic mistake. It's really heartbreaking to see everything turning around like that. Up till now, a lot of people still don't understand why the fourth position should become the first position. If truly INEC knew what they were doing, there were a lot of things that had happened then, and we were expecting that the elections would be cancelled. But they still said everything should go ahead. Look at what had happened now. But before we go into further discussion, let's just look at what Nigerians have to say. This one said, "You got it wrong. Unanimous decision of Supreme Court of today is taken or reached because the presiding judge are appointed according to mindset and to fellowship with the powers that be. People like you may not know the harm they are causing to democracy until they get at you. Do you not see how the same Supreme Court and Appeal Court, respectively, handle Atiku's matter? If election is not properly conducted by INEC, why should the court in Nigeria award it to a particular individual or particular party in Nigeria today? INEC and majority of Nigerian judges are in partnership with the APC to dismantle some individuals and major political party. Take it or leave it." So much to take from there. This one says, just because Hope Uzodinma accepted the arrogant condition that Ihedioha refuses, they claim to fight corruption and just force out of office a governor of the people, duly elected and generally accepted. The governor of the state that came out during the last concluded anti-corrupt practices national statistical analysis and reports as the least corrupt state in Nigeria. They are fighting corruption and are removing the corrupt-free governors from his duly elected office. Who are they trying to deceive? The whole world should take note of what APC is doing to Nigeria. This cabal is not ready to do the right thing. They know their game. They have their agenda that has nothing to do with the well-being of the people or development of Nigeria. That's why we insist on the restoration of our beautiful nation, Biafra. Biafra we need, and Biafra we must have. Come rain, come shine. And the last one I'm going to take here says, what happened in Imo is a historic mistake. the judgment is now constitutional, it will keep being repeated because it has been recorded that INEC has no right to cancel election, and if it does, the court will have the right to collect results from external bodies like the police, civil defense, army, and whoever comes up with election result, the court will accept it. It is quite constitutional now. We have seen it in Imo State, and it shall be used everywhere in Nigeria so long as we live. Oh my God. This one says, I faulted Supreme Court verdict over Imo State governorship election because if INEC, who stands to represent referee over the ball that bounced on the referee and instead of calling for replay, rather awarded winning to the opponent. A lot of responses here from Nigeria, and we want to look at this issue critically. It's actually from different ends. The mistake is so allowed. If you permit me to say that, it's really allowed in the sense that INEC, at the point where we had several reports, especially like the case of Senator Okorocha, when he came up and told the returning officer said that he was put under duress to sign that stuff. I think that would have been good reason why that the whole election would have been cancelled. Even before the release of Imo State, it took them so much time because there was a lot of controversy surrounding Imo State election. There were a lot of controversies. There were a lot of talking down. People were reacting negatively. And, expectation was that they're going to cancel it. They gave it to this guy based on the fact that after the collation, he had the highest vote. So why at a time that is most inappropriate, you are now giving it to the third person? If you go through our feed, you will see where we critically analyze the results. And the results came out to be fake. I'm talking about the result upon which the Supreme Court based their judgment ended up coming out to be totally fake, because it was amazing to realize that at the end of the day, after the permutation and combination, we realized that the number of votes were higher than the accredited voters. So where did you get the other one from? And that is why I realized that when we are talking about election education, electoral education, it's not just to the people alone. Even for those who are high up, they should come to understand a lot of indices in electoral processes. How would you, as sane as you are, as educated as you are, think that a place where 20 people were being accredited to vote, at the end of the day, we are seeing result of 40 people. So the other 20 people, where did they come from? And how can you tell me in a polling unit that it's only one person, everybody voted? It has never happened in the history of election. Even if it happened in one particular polling unit, if you go ahead to different other places, you can't see that happening. That in about 338 polling units, only one person was voted for. So it therefore means the other people did not do their campaign to that point. Now, these are some of the things that the people have considered, and they are like, man, what is going on? So I think that the INEC chairman is overly wrong here. Even the Supreme Court, anyhow they base their judgment, it's actually infallible. The whole thing, mistakes were everywhere. Just like one of the respondents have said here, he talked about the case of, them giving conditions. A lot of people have alleged that possibly for them to give it to this guy is because he had been able to accept certain conditions that the Imo State governor couldn't accept. It's grapevine. It's not really being. It's not something that somebody will say. I heard it. Maybe there's a document proving that he signed something or whatever. But let the truth be told. Why would a number 4 person just jump from that position to become the first person? It's crazy. It's unthinkable. It's unbelievable. So all of these are pointing to the fact that there are some things that have gone on behind, which has made the Supreme Court to react the way they reacted. Don't forget also, they have been talking about that same thing happened in Zamfara State. But I believe that the scenario of Zamfara State cannot be likened to that of Imo State. Tell me that Nwosu was given such an opportunity, and one will say, well, it's possible. But don't tell me that a man from fourth position can just jump with how many this thing, 94,000. He jump and overtake a man of 270, or 290 something thousand votes. How is that possible? And you said that it were actually votes that were not counted. Why didn't you bring it up earlier enough? Why didn't you report all of those abnormalities earlier enough? Why didn't INEC, after all, INEC had reporting officers. They had reporting officers that were reporting from that side. Why is it that external people who were also observing, why didn't they see all of that? You kept quiet after you presented it. Other people saw, the High Court, the Election Tribunal saw that there was no truth in any of these things. Go and bring us evidence. We want to see better evidence. There were no evidence. You move to the High Court. There were no evidence. It was thrown out. Appeal Court only for Supreme Court, constituted by 7 people. To wake up and give such verdict. It automatically, I think, as much as we are blaming the INEC chairman, the Supreme Court persons that sat, the judges who sat on the Supreme Court, we all know that the decision they make were not actually right. And Nigerians are frowning. If APC chairperson could say this, it therefore means he knows what actually had happened. And most of them, conscience wouldn't allow them, because that guy has just been stripped of his opportunity of being there. All right, that's where we are going to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What's your position?